All right, Brody.
Yeah,
How you doing, man? We haven't. I feel like we haven't been. We haven't streamed in a while.
We haven't streamed in a
So,
while, which means we owe our audiences at least 15,000 Nixon 5.
Nixon five.
So,
Nixon five. Nixon five. The whole show, Nixon five. That should have been the title of the show, Nixon five. Nixon five. Anyways, we got some important topics to talk about today, and I know that you have some perspective on each of these topics. So first up, Nolan Wells, man, and so as a father of male children, right? Well, so first, describe the scene. Like, describe the scene for us. Like, when you read about it, like, what were some of the thoughts? Give the audience some background in terms of where you are, etc.
I mean, I think as a parent, the biggest problem, right, is like you can't help but think about this personally, right? Both I feel for the family in deep ways for the loss of their son, and not knowing what happened, how it happened, what was the cause of it, and getting a lot of like struggling trying to get those answers. And as a parent of two young boys, it's hard not to just feel a deep sense of pain, right, and fear, that this could be any of us.
Yeah. And so for those of you that don't know, Nolan Wells was a kid from Mississippi. Went on a bus. I'm sorry, a boat journey with some friends that did not look like him. So Nolan Wells is African American male. The friends that he went with were white. Nolan Wells did not return from the boat trip, and so
But all his friends did.
And all his friends returned from the boat trip. And so, but it's important for me to just make mention of the fact that this is not a one-off, right? So like this happens to black and brown kids all the time, and then when we make noise about it, the folks try to minimize the pain, right? They want us to minimize our loudness in terms of how we feel, the emotions that we feel with regards to our kids being murdered and there being no justice, right? And so, like, I'm all for let's wait till the autopsy comes back. Let's do all the things the right way. We don't want to persecute anyone that's that may be innocent before they're presumed guilty. So I get that, but in this case, it smells awful.
Yeah, it smells awful, and look, the internet can be a horrible place. They're going after Nolan Wells' family. I, like you said, I want to see they've hired an independent auditor, a medical examiner, to do an independent autopsy. But they're
paid for by Colin Kaepernick.
Paid for by Colin Kaepernick, but they've been unable to examine.
And not
Jay-Z. They've been unable to examine the whole body, and so they can't determine a cause of death definitively because the county medical examiner won't release the whole body. And so it is just wild in every sense of the word.
Yeah. And so, but Mississippi that's nothing new for Mississippi, and that's what I was saying before. I was like, God forbid this happens, but the best place that this kid happened would be Mississippi, because I feel like Mississippi could be the epicenter for like a civil rights 2.0 in terms of people getting off their ass, understanding what it means to vote, understanding what that vote entails, getting these people out of power. It reminds me of Louisiana, which is the next door neighbor to Mississippi. Yeah. Louisiana is 33% black, and on any given election, if everybody black went in and voted, bro, it could carry the whole election because these people don't vote.
Yeah.
G, what are your thoughts, man? Nolan Wells.
Oh man. It's a really heartbreaking story. And I think the thing that is really hard about it, like when you see it in the news, and you hear all on social media all these different people talking about it, it kind of to me, like all of the chatter and voices like strip the humanity from the story. And this is a young man who had a family, and a family that is searching for answers, and has to do so in like the most public way possible, which I just can't imagine as a parent, like having all this like scrutiny, all of these detractors, all these naysayers, people just trying to meddle in your business while you are grieving the loss of your son and trying to piece together the story of what happened. It's really heartbreaking, and I wish that they get the answers and the closure that they need, and they can move forward with it, whether that's through the justice system or some other way. But it's just really, really, really terrible.
Yeah, we all want justice for Nolan, but I want this shit to stop happening. For real. For real. That's where I'm at. I want this to stop happening, and I want it to stop being okay. I feel like if we had a person in office, right, like it would be national attention towards this. Like not that there's not, but right. I mean, like imagine this happens and President Obama is the president, bro. We getting something. We're getting at least 60 minutes of healing, bringing the nation together, a push to find answers, something. And with this, you get nothing. And that's what happens when you don't vote. Elections have consequences. Nixon 5.
Nixon 5. We decided we have to make up for not being on for a while to end every sentence with Nixon 5.
Oh yeah, that's reasonable. Well, you see, I got my altar right here to Jalen Brunson. You see him up there?
Yeah, I see him.
looking down on me.
I thought that altar was gonna be the Shamet though. for all the reasons that we talked about offline. Yeah. All right. So segue, right? So we got Howard University. So apparently 500 plus freshmen at Howard University were disenrolled.
Disenrolled.
Yeah, disenrolled.
That's a nicer way to say it, thrown out.
Were disenrolled from the books at Howard University, and so the president has caught nationwide attention, and I think he's saying, based off of what I read, that the reason why they were disenrolled is because there wasn't a pathway forward in terms of understanding if they could pay for the whole 4 years. And based off of them not being able to pay for the whole 4 years, he thought that he would do them a service by cutting off any opportunity for them to attend the school of their dreams. And so I think what has been eye-opening for me is nationally how you have governors that are coming out that are like remember when Suge Knight was like, hey, if you don't want people dancing in your videos, when he was on the West Coast, you got governors that are like, if you don't want people dancing in your videos at Howard, come to University of Maryland or come to any SUNY or CUNY. Like, yo, I think that is so dope, bro, that like people are understanding the issues and coming up with solutions. Steve, this is your real world, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I think this is confirmation of sort of two things. One is just the significant impact that the ability to pay of college affordability plays in a student's ability to graduate in a timely manner. This is a university basically saying that is what they think, and that they're gonna, since they don't believe a student can, they're gonna disenroll them, right? And so like we've got to have a conversation around college affordability in a way that makes real sense and actually gets to the heart of the matter. And I think there's a real, like, yes, Howard is at the spotlight here, right? Because of what they've done. But HBCUs represent a critical component in our higher education system. They create safe spaces for Black and brown folks to be able to get their degrees. And there's a lot of heat coming for Howard for what they did, and they deserve every bit of that heat. But I would like to see the same heat for other higher ed institutions that barely serve Black and brown students and barely graduate Black and brown students for similar reasons around affordability or, non-acceptance. And so I'm here for the heat, but let's make sure that everybody feels a little bit, not just because Howard got caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Yo, you're absolutely right. And so I have nothing to say to contest that. But what I will say is, first, Nixon 5. and then I will say Brown and Yale would never. Right, G?
Yo, I can't speak for Yale, but I remember when I was about to start at Brown and some piece of my financial aid hadn't come through, and it looked like we were gonna have to do some financial gymnastics that we were not prepared for as a family in order for me to go to school. And I remember like seeing the emails and basically hearing them say like, what we thought that we could offer you is not quite as much as we could, and this is what your new package is, and this is what your out-of-pocket costs are going to be. And those numbers had too many commas in them, and so I started looking at other options, and then a couple of weeks before school was about to start, got the news that they were able to find some additional funds. So Brown would. I don't know if they still would, but they definitely have said like, get your money up, not your funny up. Like if you can't do it, then we're gonna say
but let's be real. I'm not coming for Brown. I'm not coming for Brown. Brown represents a segment of the higher ed population. So Brown's Black population is 9%. Compared to what at Howard.
I think you're being generous.
Right? And their Pell eligible population is somewhere between 13 and 15%.
Right.
And they have an endowment that could pay for double the amount of students, Pell eligible students, to go through college. And so listen, I am not defending anything that Howard
has a $1
did.
billion endowment though.
But I'm saying I'm not defending what Howard did. I'm saying
people don't understand how you can. People don't even understand endowment and how you can use that money. Steve, give them a history lesson on how endowments go, bro.
Endowments started as money in the bank in case stuff happens, and then you get so much money in the bank because colleges and universities are amazing fundraisers, and alumni are really profitable in sort of donating. And so they have these endowments that allow them to sort of keep large amounts of dollars in the stock market and equities and all sorts of different sort of financial vehicles, raising dollars for the institution. And the institutions, endowments sometimes have requirements on it, but generally the institutions can use those endowment dollars for specified purposes, and usually those specified purposes connect to the student population or to the betterment of the school. Some of them have tax implications to them, and so these are huge pots of money that institutions are sitting on, that many institutions are sitting on, that allows them to do what they want, and at the same time they continue to raise their cost of tuition, fees, and housing for students across the board while they sit on literally billions of dollars of unused money.
Bro, so I don't know if you all remember, but a couple of years ago there was some issues in the dorms at Howard. There was some creepy crawlies. There was some water. I don't even speak that. I don't even speak those words based off of how I grew up and what I had to see growing up. Those words don't even come out of my mouth, because if I saw some of that in my house, I'm selling my house.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm gone.
But let me give you an example.
I'm moving to Queens. It's over.
Let's be conservative. Howard is probably, let's say it's 90% Black and African American, right?
98.
Let's say 98%.
Yeah.
And they've got $1 billion endowment. And I'm gonna keep picking on Brown. I'm sorry, G. Brown is 9%, Black,
being generous, though.
being
Yeah.
generous still,
Yeah.
and they have an $8 billion endowment. Do you know how much money $8 billion is?
Bro, yes, I do. Unfortunately, it's that sum reminds me of what the president has made this past year in crypto. Nixon 5.
Gee, I'm not coming for Brown. I'm sorry. I'm not. I apologize.
Oh, listen. I mean, it's the same. It's the same math for any of these schools, right? That kind of build these war chests. And I get the restrictions like of it for endowments on like how you can use them, how much you can spend in a given year, like all that stuff. It makes sense. Like, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to have like, you know, make it rain for a certain subset of students, and then like 20 years from now, there's nothing for this next cohort, right? But you know, the thing about this Howard thing is that like, I think last year there was a similar situation. It wasn't.
It was.
It's like by July 31st, if you haven't like fulfilled your financial obligations, like you're not able to register. And if you're not able to register, you can't start school. And so like I think they took the next step of like disenrolling people this year.
Without letting people know, like how you gonna disenroll me? You didn't even tell me.
Yeah.
And we're talking about disenrollment for what I'm quite certain, you know, often these things like, you know, housing deposits, financial aid, we're not talking about huge sums of money here that students don't have, right? And so to be disenrolled for school because you didn't have the $500 sort of next payment is wild to me, not on the student side, because I can see a student not having the $500, but on an institution with $1 billion endowment for you to be like, you ain't got your parking fees, and so you can't come hang with us. Like that don't make no sense.
Here's the next step of the criticism, right? For me, because I feel like, you know, you should be able to criticize the things that you love. And me, for one, I love Howard as a beacon of hope for Black folks and whatnot. So, like, to me, my criticism comes from a place of love and not from any other place.
Yeah,
my fraternity was founded there. Like deep love and affection for Howard University. I want them to get their shit together, though. I don't think that's too big of an ask for us on the outside looking in that have never gone to the institution to want them to be better and not want the optics to look like how they look. These optics look crazy, bro. It's an R1 institution. It's the only HBCU that is registered as an R1 institution. Yeah. Morgan State is coming, but right now Howard is it in terms of how we look at Research One institutions in the HBCU realm. I want better.
Yeah, and I want better for the whole space because there's stuff like this that feeds into the narrative that higher ed's not worth it, particularly in our communities. That is some bull, right? Because we know how important a degree is to social and economic mobility, to wealth generation in Black and brown families, right? That has a ripple effect on generations. But when you see that colleges are charging a lot of money and they're trifling potentially over a little bit of money, it just feeds into this, like, why do it anyway, right? Yeah. And we don't need that in our communities. And so this feeds into it, and that's what pisses me most off about this. It's another thing that the press can point to and be like, see, this is what we're talking about with colleges and universities.
Not even the press. It's not the press that I'm worried about. It's
well, segments of the press.
Nixon 5. So I guess this is not even a segue because we're still talking about HBCU. So recently at Tuskegee University, the president of the university thought it best to implement a dress code at Tuskegee for on-campus activities, class, and in the cafeteria. And so the president does not want durags or hair bonnets to be worn, or pajamas, or things that you would wear, I guess, to sleep. And so, man,
or bedroom shoes.
Yeah, bedroom shoes. Yeah. I'm struggling with this, fellas. I'm struggling with this because I put out some content, and I'm my claim is I think it's anti-black, but I don't want to think about the things that are being named as just being like franchised by black people. Like black people aren't the only people that wear hair bonnets or wave caps or sleepwear to class. So I don't want it to just be individualized based off of just it being black folk. But what are y'all's thoughts, man? I got some hot takes.
You know, I mean, I think like just reducing a student down to what they wear as a measure of like who they are, the intellect they possess, and their ability to contribute to the university is representative of a deeper issue that we have in academia, in the working world, in the public sphere in general, that removes our agency as an as individuals, to say like, no, this is what I'm able to do, this is what I can produce, and it doesn't matter what I'm wearing or how I'm looking, in order to like I should be able to wear whatever I need and do whatever I have to do. It sucks, because at the end of the day, also, you know, Trayvon Martin was targeted for wearing a hoodie, and like MLK was shot wearing a suit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to protect you one way or the other.
Bro, that is such a bar. That is a Nixon 5 bar right there.
That is a bar.
That's a bar right there, bro.
So what can folks wear, right? What can folks wear?
And I heard, you know, I saw someone PhD somewhere. I'll quote it when I find it. But sis was like, we're having these conversations about bonnets and wave caps. Meanwhile, folks in suits are the illustrators of genocide. And so if that don't make you think in terms of like what a person wears and how that doesn't make a difference in terms of the human heart, I don't know what will. Steve, what are your thoughts?
You know, this is tough. Like you, Ray, I've taught at the college level. I taught at the college level from like 99 to 2013, right? And years and years. And the only thing I cared about is my students showing up to class ready to learn and prepared for that class.
You better
right?
say it.
I don't care what they wore to class, as long as they had done the work and were ready to participate in class. I don't care, because that environment was for them to learn. And however they needed to show up, as long as they showed up ready to learn and prepared to learn, I didn't care what they looked like. And so this bothers me, because I feel like we're fighting over the wrong things on college campuses, right? We need to be fighting about why don't more college faculty have why aren't they trained in pedagogy? Why do we have classes at times when we know that students can't learn? Why don't we have more flexibility in ways that teachers, that faculty and students can engage with each other to be productive and help that student achieve their educational goals? Instead, we're worrying about whether or not you got Crocs on in the classroom. Dude, if you stand in front of the classroom and you're worried about Crocs, you shouldn't be in front of that classroom.
Bro, let me tell you something. In 1995, when I got on SUNY Albany's campus on a basketball scholarship, bro, I had shorts on and flip-flops. And everybody that was on my team had the same outfit. Like, you knew we was hooping or whatever, right? And so, like, when I graduated finally, and I went to go get a job, did I wear basketball shorts and flip-flops to go get the job? Hell no. I put on a suit to get the job. I understood what the assignment was in terms of what I needed to do in terms of showing up and being, I guess, professional for folks that coin professionalism. But I think that a deeper conversation is who gets to say what professionalism is, right? Like, when I come to work, I want to be comfortable. If I'm with kids all day, I feel like the focus should be me being the most comfortable that I can be, because I'm pouring my heart and soul out to kids. And Steve, to your point, I want my college students to just come to class. Like, are you kidding me? Like, bro, I'm sending emails. I'm doing.
Having done the reading.
If I see one person out, I'm like, hey, you good? like I really do. I check for people because when I was at my HBCU, it was the first time ever that I had professors that if they didn't see you in class, there was follow-up. It was like, hey, we didn't see you in class tonight. Is everything good? Like, it was like that. It was coming from like that place of care that resonates for me. And I want people to know that, like, if you're in my class, I care about you because I'm pouring into you and you're pouring into me. And that's just what it is. When you put limits on how young people can learn and what they can learn in, I don't know.
And we haven't even talked about the fact that those students are paying customers at that institution.
Right.
So let somebody tell me if I'm sending my money someplace, how I can show up to spend my money. I'm gonna spend my money someplace else.
Yeah, but then most of the people that are involved in the chatter that are like, oh, if you don't respect what the university wants and the university standards, go find someplace else. Like, bro, I don't want somebody that got a 700 on the SAT telling me what I should and shouldn't. Nixon five.
Gee, did everybody at Brown have to wear penny loafers and cardigan sweaters? Was that the dress code? What was the deal?
Yeah, well, it was blazers on Thursdays, but besides that, you're right.
You ain't no pennies in those penny loafers. You got in trouble.
From Bass, no, because you couldn't get them from anywhere else. They had to be from Bass, bro.
They had to be from Bass.
and that's the only reason why Bass hasn't gone out of business. They don't have storefronts anymore, but they gotta stay in business so that they can give Brown University students the penny loafers. In the boat shoes too. But Brown might be in partnership with Vineyard Vines, so they might be moving.
That's casual Fridays.
Yeah.
Bro, but when I go to these schools, when I go to like other schools,
by the way,
there it is. See?
Oh, he got it. He got it.
When I go to schools, and St. John's included, these kids dress like how they want to dress, and it's a way for them to be original. It's a way for them to show themselves in terms of their originality. And bro, just think that we need to learn with a purpose. So
yeah, man.
All right, close us out, Steve. Final thoughts.
Nixon 5. Let's go.
G, close us out.
I still can't believe that happened, man. It was just so amazing. Like, I've never been so happy, like, maybe ever in my life. Like, that moment, that was amazing.
Bro, you got new kids.
All right, top 3 happiest moments in my life, then.
All right, that's better. And you got an anniversary today.
Yo, stop calling me out.
He said top 3, so it doesn't include his wedding.
Nixon 5. Hey, we'll see you next week. Yo, hey, I gotta hop. We out.
All right.